Welcome back to the Perfectly Balanced Podcast, where we talk about life, love, and relationships. I'm your host, Destiny, and today we're talking about green flags. So let's get into it. We all know and we all heard about red flags. Nobody ever talks about the green flags. Green flags actually matter. I feel like if you're around people that are showing you signs of having green flags or their behavior shows that they have green flags, then that's who you need to be around. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about those people and see who you actually be around for real. And you let me know in the comments if these are the people you are around. And if not, you really need to evaluate your circle and who you are around. One big green flag is they hold themselves accountable. A real deal person can admit when they're wrong. They don't give excuses. They don't deflect. They don't gaslight. They're just straight up with it. And they say they messed up and they'll do better. And if they can own it and sit in it, then that's a green flag. So ding, 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 ding. That's a green flag. Next, you know you're dealing with a person that is a green flag when they're consistent and not just convenient. A solid person doesn't just show up when it's fun for them or when y'all are just having fun or when they need something. They're there when it matters the most. They're there when they can sense when you're going through something. And they also will reach out to you or be there for you even when it's nothing in it for them. If you only hear from someone when they're bored or they need a favor, that's not a friend and that's not a relationship. It's more so a transaction. So you need to really check on that and get an understanding of who that person is. And if they only want to be around you when they want something, that's a red flag. But if they're there through the ups and downs and they are always checking on you and making sure you're good, that's a green flag. You know that a person is a green flag when you feel safe being yourself. And not just being yourself, being your real authentic self. If you have to water down any part of yourself, walk on eggshells, or constantly overthink what you say, then that person is not a green flag for you. A true green flag is someone who makes you feel comfortable, understood, and valued. And that's with your flaws and everything in between. Another attribute of someone who is a green flag in your life, they celebrate with you without feeling extremely threatened. Some people low-key hate when you're winning. And I personally believe that's true. Somebody out there is preying on your downfall. Somebody out there is putting your name through the mud. Somebody out there is literally hating on you. But when it's a green flag, they always hype you up. They always support every project you do. They support your growth. And they never make it about themselves. It's no weird competition, no passive aggressiveness, or no must be nice. None of that. It's just genuine, real love. That's a green flag. A person who also is a green flag in your life, they're going to respect your boundaries. You don't have to explain why you need space. And you don't have to say you don't want to do something so many times and they keep pressing you. They're going to understand from the get-go. That's a part of what having a boundary is. A real person is going to hear your boundary once and they're going to respect that boundary. They're not going to guilt trip you. They're not going to test your limits. It's just honest and mutual respect. They communicate like an adult too. So no silent treatments, no mind games, no passive aggressiveness, none of that. A green flag is someone who can say, hey, that bothered me, can we talk? Instead of expecting you to read their mind. Because we're not mind readers. We can't read anybody's mind. Nobody can do that. And if you can do that, then you're a superhero. And you need to come holler at me, because I need you to read some minds. They don't just listen, they actually hear you. Whenever you talk to someone and you sit and have a full conversation with them, do you actually feel heard? Do you actually see in their eyes that they're listening? Do they remember the small things and follow up with anything that you mention to them? That's a rare green flag. Another sign that you can know that someone is a green flag is they handle conflict without trying to win. Arguments are bound to happen, but a green flag is someone who argues to solve the issue, not just to be right. They don't belittle you, they don't blow up, and they don't shut down. They work through it with you. Another instance that you may just know that someone is a green flag in your life, they show up when it counts. And this is a big one. This is so major. You know, I think the next one's a big one. I think these next two are huge. Anybody can be around for the fun, good times. But when you're sick, when you're stressed, when you're going through it, who actually checks in on you? Who offers real help, real solutions? If they show up when it's not convenient, keep them close, because that's a green flag. You don't have to question where you stand in their lives. A solid person doesn't leave you guessing. They make their intentions clear, their effort is consistent, and you never have to worry if they actually care. If someone's got you feeling unsure 24/7, that's a red flag. And what's even worse, that's an emotional whiplash. I don't see it often enough that people talk about green flags. And this is just a small list of green flags. I feel like it's so much more to this than just the ones that I just gave y'all. But you really have to know what a green flag is in order to consider someone as a green flag. All day long we hear about red flags and how if you see this or if this person does this, that's a red flag. But do you not know that's based off of somebody's experience and their own opinion? That's crazy. That's crazy. And you know, when somebody has their own experience and their own opinions about a certain subject or a certain act or a certain behavior, then everybody agrees. It's like nobody has their own way of thinking. Just because somebody does a certain act doesn't mean that they are a red flag. They just got certain attributes. Not everything is a red flag. I want you to understand that people who are real ones, like the real deal people, they aren't just about what they say, they're about what they do. They're going to put action behind what they say. Anybody can say anything, but when you start putting action behind what you say, you're a real one. You do it consistently, on a consistent basis. You don't just talk the talk. You talk the talk and you walk the walk. I know y'all heard that before. Green flags aren't just about avoiding toxic behavior. They're about recognizing the people who bring you peace, trust, and real connection. And if you know somebody like that, please drop it in the comments. If you're comfortable. Only if you're comfortable. I'm not going to push you to do it, but I would like to know who's a green flag in your life. So with all that being said, don't chase the red flags. Start appreciating the green flags. I don't know why I'm always stuttering or pausing. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let me start up. Hold on. Stop chasing the red flags and start appreciating the ones who actually got your back, the ones who actually matter, the ones who hold themselves accountable. They're consistent, not just convenient. You feel safe being your real self. They celebrate with you without feeling threatened. They respect all the boundaries that you have. They communicate like an adult. They don't just listen, they actually hear you when you're talking. They handle conflict without trying to win, but more so trying to get an understanding and being open-minded. They show up when it counts. And lastly, you don't have to question where you stand in their lives. Thank you again for coming to listen to the Perfectly Balanced Podcast. Again, I'm Destiny. And if this helped you get an understanding who a green flag is in your life, let me know in the comments. I love seeing comments. I don't even know podcasts. Well, I did, but I didn't. Because I've never commented on any podcast. But definitely comment who your green flag is and what makes them a green flag. I would really like to know.